Hi everyone, this is Ria and welcome to Let's OTT. I'd like to give a really warm welcome to Shriyam Bhagnani, who's here with us today. Um,
Hello.
yeah, hi Shriyam. How are you doing today?
I've been doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well as well. How is the lockdown treating
I think the same as everybody else. A
you?
lot of time in our hands, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, just waiting to get back to work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anything specific that you've been up to these days? I mean, apart from shooting and stuff, of course. Like because you said that people have a lot of time on their hands. A lot of
Yeah.
people have been taking classes or doing some interesting social media things. Is there anything that you've been up?
I have been personally drawing a lot. I've been taking up classes to learn painting and to draw because you know how everybody is like, taking classes to cook and, trying out new recipes.
Yeah.
But like as being born and brought up in Kolkata, like
Mm.
these were things that I was taught much before. And
Sure.
suddenly I was like, oh, this is not something that I need to learn.
Hmm.
So I was mostly into like painting and, creating artworks
Hmm.
most of the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I mean, and Calcutta and Bengal generally is just it's so full of culture. So it's I mean, it's no surprise that you'd be exposed to that kind of thing since childhood. So
Yeah.
you never thought of taking that up as a career path because now you're working in films and in TV and
Yeah.
animation. Was that not ever a thought that you'd like to take up painting full
Painting.
time? Yeah, drawing.
So I started painting just like within the lockdown, like the first day of lockdown. I was like, oh, I have 21 days. What am I going to do? Let's draw for 21 days. So that's how it started. And at that time, I was drawing all those, stick figures like we draw, like when we had asked to draw a man. So that is how
Yeah.
I started, and then I started taking these lessons online. And yeah,
Hmm.
I think whatever you want to do, you can just learn these days. It's so convenient with internet that you can
Hmm.
just get on a website and learn how to do things.
Right.
So yeah, I invested most of my time there.
That's amazing. Hopefully, in the future, we'll get to see some of your artwork. Maybe you could put it online or something, right?
Definitely, you'll see. I'm just
Okay.
still, I'm just still considering myself to be drawing those stick figures. So yeah, maybe in a few days.
For those of
Yeah.
you who don't know Shriyam, because well, she's not made her big debut just yet, but hopefully you will see her on a lot more screens in the future. Yeah, hopefully. You're a budding actress. You've already done some smaller roles in a couple of movies, including Batti Gul Meter Chalu and Bagi 2.
Yeah.
And you'll be seen in a web series soon, which we'll talk about as this chat progresses. But you come from a very illustrious family. Your chacha is Mr. Vashu Bhagnani, who's a
Yes.
very prolific producer, filmmaker. He's Pooja Entertainment, of course, has made some great films over the last 2 decades, 2.5 decades or so. So, I mean, it goes without saying that obviously that influence of film and culture has been there in your house since probably since you were growing up. And I don't want to put you on the spot by asking you the nepotism question because that's really not something that I want to discuss. But I'd love to know in general, like what was it growing up in a household which is already kind of established in this industry?
So technically, I didn't grow up in the household because I was in Kolkata and he was here. So I came to Mumbai only 4 years back, 4.5 years back. So I didn't really grow up going to the sets. I grew up like whenever I visited, of course, I was exposed to people
Hmm.
from the industry, but I was never exposed to the art.
Hmm.
So while growing up, I was never drawn to the industry because I really didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Like I knew it from a very surface level, from the, okay, movies are getting made and, my family is a part of it. But I never understood what is happening. And
Hmm.
it's only until in college when so I was really interested in event management at that point, and I used to organize fests in my college.
Okay.
And as a part of the organizing committee, we had to present a play
Hmm.
because at that time there was no drama club in the college. So we were like, who's going to present? So let us do it.
Hmm.
And that is the first time that I was exposed to the art of it. And there was no looking back. I was like, this is what I want to do. So yeah. yeah.
But growing up, we all watch movies, and we're all exposed to that culture anyway, even if it's not there in our household. Were there
Yeah.
any specific people or any specific style, genre, aesthetic that was your main inspiration or motivation behind realizing later that this is an art form that you would like to pursue?
I think the first time that I saw Batman and I saw Heath Ledger and
Right.
I saw him doing what he's doing
Hmm.
is when I got hit a little. Oh, that's the power of an actor. Like you can completely transform
Hmm.
into a different person, and that is something that I got really inspired by.
Right.
And followed by movies like Harry Potter, where like all like these fantasy fiction films where people are completely transforming themselves into a completely different human being.
Right.
That to me was very exciting.
Right.
So I was like, this I have to do. Like this I want to try. I don't want to be myself on
Hmm.
screen. Like I want to play the lives of other people.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned Heath Ledger and of course the iconic character of Joker from the Dark Knight series. Because Heath was known for his method acting, and that is
Yeah.
the kind of style that is usually. I mean, if it doesn't come naturally to you, it's usually taught at acting studios or at acting school. And you also went to an acting school later on. So was that one of the reasons why? Because you said that you were influenced by how actors transform themselves completely into a character. Was that the reason why you felt the need to go to an acting studio to learn acting?
So I started auditioning before I started going. Like I enrolled myself into an acting studio. So the auditions that I went to earlier, I used, of course, like you're given a script and you're told, okay, you're playing this character, and you're talking to this person who's on the other side, but there's nobody there. Like
Yeah.
probably it's a girl, you're talking to your mother, but
Mm.
it's a guy who's playing the character.
Yeah. Right.
So all of that, the first time that when I was doing it, it was very difficult for me.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, it's difficult for me because I don't know the process of how to do it. So my understanding, so I am basically like a very very curious person. If I pick up an art, I really want to know everything about it.
Mm.
So standing in a position where I did not understand what's happening, I wanted to know everything about it before I could accept or reject it.
Mm.
So that's why I enrolled into an acting studio. And it was just, I went in to learn exactly what happens in those 5 minutes when you're auditioning.
Right.
But I realized there's a lifetime of learning for just those 5 minutes,
Mm.
and there's no end to this learning.
Mm. Do you think the
Yeah,
experience at the acting school sort of helped you build a foundation? For your like future career, is this something that you would maybe not recommend, but is this something that you tell people, advise younger people, the younger generation that they should kind of take up like formal training in acting?
definitely, it helps a lot. It helps a lot to understand the craft, to understand how a set functions.
Mm.
Because of course, if you haven't worked on any set before this, you will not understand the different aspects. It's not just you acting in front of the camera.
Mm.
It's a lot of people, it's hundreds of people on the set. And
Mm.
being in an acting school, you get and especially in Baijan acting studios where I studied, we were given the opportunity to explore every part of being on set, as maybe as a technician, maybe as a producer, maybe as a director. So we were given responsibilities
Mm.
every day. We were given new responsibilities,
Mm.
and I think that is very important before you actually step on a set, so that
Mm.
one, you have that respect for every job on the
Yeah.
set, and
Mm.
second, the understanding of every other person's job makes your job much easier. For example, if I know how a camera is, how a cameraman is functioning, I'll be
Yeah.
able to, even if I'm sitting and the camera is really far away, I
Okay.
know exactly which angle to be in.
Yeah.
So I think all of those technical details you can only learn when you go through a formal training
Mm.
or like years of experience. Yeah.
You went through that formal training, you got a really kind of wholesome training because you dabbled in a lot of different aspects of technical part of filmmaking. And then eventually you also did all of that on multiple film sets.
Yeah.
You worked in different capacities on film sets. I mean, apart from acting, because that is something that you're now taking up full time, but apart from acting, is there any other aspect of filmmaking which really called out to you, which you might want to kind of pursue in the future?
It's something that I haven't explored yet, and this is it's being behind the camera,
Yeah,
like being a director of photography is something I'm really interested in doing. I
yeah,
love how these people say stories through just their images.
yeah.
Like even when some films, some great films like Perfume Story of Murder, if you watch that film,
Hmm.
even if you mute that film, this the visuals are extremely um, expressive in
Hmm.
terms of what the storytelling is. So that is something that I really want to explore.
Wow, that's lovely. And I
Yeah,
love the fact that you said that because, we have so many well-known DOPs in this country. And I mean,
yeah,
it's not that there are very few female DOPs. That's not the fact. That's not true. There's actually
yeah,
very lesser known DOPs. Women are making such wonderful documentary features and they're cinematographers
yeah.
for, short films and things like that. But we hardly get to know about them. So if there are young female stars like you and they're talking more about how important it is to to kind of nurture those talents as well, then we even we'll know about them a lot more in the future as
We should, we should. It's a huge aspect of filmmaking that we're seeing.
well.
And if it's not because of them, if the entire story is told like with the camera just staying in one place, you will not have fun watching it at all.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your big break. First of all, many congratulations to you. You're doing
Thank you.
your first web series, and it's with none other than Mr. Nagesh Kukunur.
Yes.
Just such an amazing filmmaker. He has such a specific style and aesthetic to his craft. What's the? I mean, of course, I'll ask you what the experience has been like so far. And I know you're taking a little bit of a break from shooting right now. But how did the project like?
Yeah.
How did you land it up in the first place? And what has the experience been like so far?
So I remember this audition very well. I was traveling, and this was in December 2019, and I was actually in China. This was just 2 weeks before this entire pandemic happened.
Right.
And I don't know why I chose that country to travel, but I was there. And I
Amazing.
got a audition call that, there's this, I got an audition call that, there's this audition that you need to record and send ASAP.
Hmm.
And I was like, but I'm here with my friends, and how do I record? Because I don't have anything on me, right? Like I don't have a mobile stand, I don't have somebody to give me the cues.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it for you." And we just sat there and we gave the audition.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's how I got it. That's the audition that got me the character, the role for this web series.
I was going to ask you if this
So
audition went directly to Nagesh, or was it like to his team, and what was the process of like interacting with him and then getting cast finally?
audition process goes like, so there's a casting director involved in the process.
Yeah.
The casting director is who takes all these auditions. They are the intermediary between the director and the actors.
Hmm.
And so my audition went to her,
Hmm.
to Shruti Mahajan ma'am,
Hmm.
and from her to Nagesh sir.
Right.
And when I returned from China is when I went up to him, and like I was called to his office and to meet him. And yeah, that's when he saw me, and he was like, I like you to play this character. And he
Hmm.
explained the entire part to me. And yeah, that's how we got onto it.
Hmm. And yeah, you were speaking about what the shooting process has been like so far.
The shooting process has been amazing on this set, because like you said, you spoke about women.
Hmm.
um, this set is primarily run by women, like from the set designer to the costume designer
That's
to the
amazing.
producer. Everyone is a woman. And when you enter the set, like, it's professional. At the very same time, it feels very safe and homely because of the women around you who always make you, you know and you know how women are, like, we want to do work, like we have a different way of working. So um it was it was the most amazing set that I've ever been on so far,
Hmm.
like as an actor or as a technician.
You've mentioned method acting before as well, And part of like one of those cliches that we hear about method acting, especially from like people like Daniel Day-Lewis or Christian Bale or Ranveer here, like people who have kind of championed that style, weight gain, weight loss, putting your body through a lot of these difficulties is a very inherent part of that. So and a lot of there are a lot of detractors to that as well, that that eventually in the long term it really takes a toll on you. So like what is your general idea about that, about how you have to, it kind of, it's not the best thing for you, but it does it help in enhancing that character, or does it?
So of course, it plays a big part in it, in
Hmm.
playing the character. Like I said, I want to be able to play different people. Now, all the people aren't like looking like me. All the
Yeah.
people, like, they don't have the same body type as me. They don't have the same dialect as me. They don't have the same behavior as me. They don't have the same reactions as me.
Yeah.
So, if as an actor, my job is to change everything else about my personality, for me as an actor, it's just a part of that. Gaining weight or losing weight is just a part of characterization for it. Of course, it's difficult. I'm not going to say it's easy. Of
Hmm.
course, it's difficult to lose the weight and gain the weight, but the motivation is too high. For me, it's too high.
And
Yeah.
as I mentioned before, Nagesh is known for a very specific style and aesthetic. He's of course made directed a web series before as well. He made his web series debut last year, I think. Yeah, last year. And
Yes.
now this is his kind of second tryst with that. What was the experience like with him being on the film set? We've kind of, we've watched so many of his films, and they've all been commercially successful and critically acclaimed. So yeah, what was the experience with him as a director?
I think with Nagesh sir, it's very, very easy to work. Like, as an actor, um, he just knows, like, there's no one confused thought in his brain. I think so. Of course, I can't read his brain, but I really feel like the way he directs, he's very clear about what he wants from the scene.
Hmm.
But at the same time, he gives complete freedom to me as an actor to express what I could see in this scene. So that's a very, very happy space for me as an actor to work in,
Hmm.
with a director like that, who's that level headed and that ready for spontaneous changes, as well as keeping vision in mind.
With the lockdown and with all the shooting restrictions, has there been a specific change in the way shooting is being done? Like, was the experience like, is there a closed set? How are you kind of handling shooting right now with fewer number of people and the social distance thing going on?
Of course, the sets are smaller. Utmost care is taken. Everybody is in PPE suits, like most people.
Yeah.
And as actors, you can't even wear masks like half the time, like when you're recording.
Mm.
It's scary. Like, of course, it's scary. But I think just the fact that we can all take care and we can all just stay safe at the moment,
Mm.
with all these precautions, is our number one priority when we are shooting
Yeah.
for all of us. And I speak for everybody who's shooting right now. Our
Mm.
number one priority is to stay safe, but like they say, life must go on,
Mm.
and we have to resume work at some point of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of resuming work, I've been speaking to so many actors during this time, um, specifically on Zoom. But
Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of them have a lot of anxiety and trepidation about what comes next. Especially the younger actors or people who are just kind of starting out in their career, because people who've been around for a while, they have those contacts, they have those people who they can call and say, you know what, I need work for next year. But for
Yeah.
you guys, it's a lot more difficult to get that unless you already have your foot in the door. Do you have that kind of anxiety about what happens in the future, because things are going to change? The ecosystem is already it's pretty tight already.
If I say I don't have the anxiety, I'm gonna lie.
Hmm.
But I'm finding that staying in that anxiety is not helpful either.
Yeah.
Just to keep thinking about that is not helpful either.
Hmm.
So I'm continuously working on my craft. I'm
Mm,
practicing my scripts, and I'm doing whatever I can do to improve the situation.
mm,
But so far, like I think till like a couple of months ago, we were not even shooting. Nobody was shooting. So in that scenario, if there's something that I cannot do, like there's not a single action that I can take to change this situation,
mm.
I will not um want to sit in that moment and grief, spend that moment in grief. I would rather do what I can do in that moment.
Right.
So yeah, that is exactly what I have been following for my anxiety, because otherwise I don't know, like it can be a very dangerous space to be in.
One thing that the lockdown has done is that it has made OTT platforms or digital streaming platforms, whatever you want to term them as, key players in the way in the way we produce and consume media.
Yes.
They're more mainstream than film, more mainstream than even TV. And you are somebody who has chosen to, your big break has come to a web series, which will be streamed online by multiple people. I'd love to know from you, as a person who is now part of the OTT industry, as much as somebody who's a young person who I'm sure consumes a lot of content on online as well.
All day long.
Yeah. So I'd love to know from you what you think about this. What is your general opinion on OTT, both as a consumer and as a person who's part of the industry?
I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I think it's huger than TV right now, because
Hmm.
everybody has a phone in their hands.
Yeah.
And with just the press of a button, wherever you're sitting, whether you're sitting in your room
Hmm.
or you're like, waiting in the on the for a flight, you're just sitting and you're watching content. It's just that easy to consume.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's a great platform, because of this connectivity,
Hmm.
that people don't have to spend extra to or like to spend extra time or energy
Hmm.
or money to go to a theater and watch the film.
Is there something that you've been watching specifically? Because you said, this is what we do all day. This is what I do all day as well. So,
Yeah,
is there something specifically that you've seen recently that you really enjoyed, or something like that?
I've seen so many things. It's just the general, like every time some series comes out and there's a hype and everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
So I've been watching all of that for sure. I've been rewatching Friends and Harry Potter a lot of times.
Sure. Yeah. Great
A
choices.
lot of those reruns are a
Yeah.
lot of those reruns are happening,
Hmm.
um, because
We
I'm
need a lot of positive content these days. We need to feel happier. That is
yeah,
what I'll say. So
yeah.
Friends and
That
Harry
is the
Potter
that
makes
is the
me feel
sole
happy.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
makes me feel like a kid. Okay, there's no worry in the world. I can just be.
Right. So true. What do you see your career kind of charting out as in the future? Like, do you see yourself doing more web series? Do you see yourself kind of transitioning back into film? Do you see doing both? Like, is there a plan, or is it like let's take it as it comes?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
I have zero idea. I have no idea how I've reached here. I have no idea how I've bagged this role also. When I started off, like, I was just amazed to be on set. Like, for
Yeah.
me, that feeling is, just of a pure amazement. So for me, even if I am working behind the camera, I don't know. Maybe I venture out into that as well.
Right.
So hopefully, I just want to be on set. That's just my wish for the next 5, whatever, 10 or whatever years to
Great.
come.
Thank you so much, Shriyam. Thank you for having this chat with us. I
Thank you.
hope that
Thank
we
you
get
for asking me these questions.
no, my pleasure. I hope we get to see you in a lot more film, in a lot more shows, and I also hope that we get to see you as the DOP, because that's very exciting for me. And all the best. We look forward to watching your show with Nagesh. It's going to be out soon, guys. We don't know when,
Soon.
but it's going to be out soon. And whenever it's out, you will know first on Let's OTT. So please like, share, and subscribe to our content on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And once again, thank you so much, Shriyam, for joining us on this chat. And and yeah, that's me signing off. Any last thoughts that you have?
Just to everybody who's anxious, who's watching this, who's anxious, just take yourself out from that moment and just look at the bigger picture and do something that you can do about it right now, and not worry about the things that you can't do. And thank you for Ria. Thank you to Ria for having me today. And it was lovely chatting with you.
Great. Thank you so much. That's a lovely note to end on.